Movement coming up long. They will be able to start wrapping into CT. It's Rez here to deny, but Shalfie wins the first fight.
Yeah, great shot from Shalfie. Rez could do nothing about that, and his teammates having to drop back, but the bomb is going back towards this A site, and Config inside of the site, dishing out headshots like it's nothing. Sorte and Shalfie litter the site, but they eventually overrun Config and put the bomb down inside of the A bomb site. Headtrick overrunning Pit. He tries to stay alive long enough for the rotation to come in. He's done a decent enough job with that, but FORZ are hitting the headshots. Krad delivers from the Pit, and Alexi B, the in-game leader, trying his best, but it's not going to be enough to get back into the round. FORZ will pick up the first. Side of things, it makes them more susceptible to going down to these pistols, and that's what NIP hope they can get done here.
Oh, FORZ look like they're deciding to bail out of this, but Brolan's got two. They go barreling through the smoke. Finally, Shalfie gets one back, but that bomb's in CT, and Krad lands another.
Yeah, great shots coming in from them, and now there's a chance for Brolin to get a little bit more. Config's helping out Brolin. Unfortunately, his work is done in the round. Krad able to swing by, and the deagle through the pillar connects. But it's Rez in such a good spot at the tree. Remember, they're so low, so this 5-7 can dish out devastating damage. Krad goes around the corner first. Remember, Shalfie is low, but the rifle still connects. 8 seconds to sprint to the site and try and get this bomb down. Not enough time, surely. There might just be a final second, and the bomb does go down. Milliseconds in it, locks it in, and that could be the difference to winning this round. Config slipping back into the site. Shalfie escapes into the ruins. And Config clears out the back of the site, realizes there's only one place he could have gone, given how quick that plant went down. And Config is just holding it, the full 10-second stick. Only a few more seconds on it. Shalfie's not peeking. Config just about gets taken off it. Shalfie saves the day with less than a second left. That could have went either way multiple times. Config, ooh, good position, but Resalt's going to check it. No one to pull distraction away from Config.
This one should be much easier. Mac 10, can it be sent in first to get information? Nice flash onto the player in mini pit. So this will be very easy. Jerry even goes jumping onto the site. And, oh man,
nice try, Alexi B.
Yeah. I think Jerry had a little giggle about that one. The weaponry on this B-bomb site, not ideal, but they do have Brolan's M4. He tries to move forward, trying to block that smoke, but not meant to be.
Well, Alexi B, good pick actually. Does well to get at least one there. Headtrick doesn't really have the weapon to spam through and getting some of these battles through the smoke. So we'll see what they decide to go with. Config's gonna, smash them with a deagle. That's one way to start things off under this retake attempt. They've got to move quite quickly, though. And he sees Zorte. He's doing some damage, but Zorte confident to take the fight with a rifle. Gets two, and that confirms the round here for FORZ. It's going to be a 5-0 lead for FORZ. Definitely close in a lot of these.
Man, 27 seconds for FORZ. Got to be clean here. They've got to go through this smoke themselves.
What a position to take. And now he just sits inside of the smoke. Jerry walks into him, and Brolin sticks around a little bit too long. Shalfie eventually avenges his fallen in-game leader, and the kills keep coming in for FORZ. It's clicking nice and early for them, and they put the bomb down. Thanks to that kill from Config, though, it will be NIP still up a player. Config barely alive, but he's standing in the pit, which is a very powerful position. He can pull a lot of distraction away from the players who are fighting. And Zorte, well, he is having a game right now. A no-scope in towards middle on Rez. But remember Config inside of the pit. He's jumped out of it now. Zorte to the quick shot, but Headtrick had the angle. And Headtrick will bring him down. Finally, NIP enter the scoreboard. Yeah, they're going to throw that smoke down for Brolin. Flash at the ready. I don't know if Krad's going to respect this smoke, though, and the timing on the flash. Oh, it does connect. Especially Zorte's flash that affects Krad the most. Brolin lays down a double, and so does Rez. Finally, Rez has arrived to Inferno. He's had a very quiet start to this map, but he strikes, and Resalt on the lurk on the other side of the map. Does catch Config, but 15 seconds left. He's just doing as much damage as he can before this round is conceded. It is a second round for NIP, and Resalt gets an AWP, so he'll be pretty happy about collecting that, all things considered.
I think the smoke timing was solid. You see that allows the first fights to be a little more favorable for Brolan. Especially when the second player is coming through really hard. Jerry's able to trade, but Rez at the back of the site uses his aim effectively. He dips back to safety. Again, similar setup from NIP to the previous, but Alexi B handled early, and that leaves CT wide open.
Oh, Rez charging back into spawn, but Shelfie is so quick on that trigger, and he is ready for a second, although Brolin isn't. He will be traded out, leaving that B site completely compromised, and the round done. That's going to be FORZ on 8. They've already won the half by a minimum of 1 round.
Outside of Krad, who's just been along for the ride right now.
He's been applying a lot of pressure, though, forcing out a lot of nades and banana. And he spots a gap he wants to play with. Krad could just keep walking through this if he wanted. And he is going to start slipping through now. In the meantime, Resalt solo pressuring out A. He's done far too much yet again. He gets 1, but this is a great hold. Rez, hettrick, and Brolin all chiming together for kills across the board. 28 seconds left. Zorte burning in the fire. And how do they deal with this double setup towards the back of the site? Rez and Brolin in really strong positions. Rez fights first, Brolin on the second, and NIP have their 3rd round.
They're taking enough info early in the round and then slipping back. Still got very awkward. Hettrick missing a couple of AWP shots. Thought Config might have won that fight as well, but Result was trying to sell the fake.
Hettrick connects while blinded. Jerry clears Config out. They played that porch position too many times. And Krad again walks through the smoke. This time Brolin ready for it and needs a bit more. He's doing so much damage, but not a kill. Not a second at least from Brolin. And now Jerry has seen the archway is wide open. He's going to charge through it.
Wow, Zorte was left with that AWP to just cut off the rotate, and now they can come back to A because they got that kill.
Well, Jerry won't be allowed to go back. Rez has come through. Oh, Hettrick needed to land that one. Zorte doing so much, but unfortunate there for Rez. Doesn't see him. He should catch Shelfie looking the wrong way, though. And now he has a chance. Zorte so low, but quick movement out of the boiler, back to short, and Zorte has a round. Cherry about to apply pressure to long. Brolin has to make sure they can't get into the archway, and he covers it off. No stepping under the archway. Brolin, 2nd kill locked in as well. They're worried about the split through arch, but the fight is coming through Banana. And Krad is moving through. That should confirm it now if they hear the AK rattling alongside the off. Krad commits to the plant, has to now. Sticks it, holds it, pulling it through inside of the smoke. A plant into the 1v4 for the last round here. And unfortunately for Krad, it's not anywhere near enough done. So it will be NIP.
The split onto A could still work for NIP, but they've got to get a move on here. Flank is coming. And it's not easy to clear out some of these positions. Alexi with a key kill. Now that player in pit will try to survive, but Result dealt with. They're ready for the flank, but Shelfie could still deliver here. 2v3 for FORZ, not easy to come back from.
Time's starting to tick as well. They've got to get on that bomb, and it's already starting to get to the point of impossibility. Config tapping away, Hettrick keeping them trained on the angle, and they're calling for the save. Hettrick will find one on the way out. It's a fade away as he makes it a double kill on the way out. Ninjas in pajamas, starting off the half well, thankfully.
Wins.
Yeah.
Now they've got someone to work with.
Hang on, look at this. Jerry's flying down mid. Look for the first engagement. Wolf and Hettrick. Look for more. Doubles it down alongside Shelfie. That has a great mid take coming through. And now Brolin stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to be overwhelmed, surely. Shelfie swings, but cannot find. And Brolin will at least alleviate the pressure on one, but it gets dropped immediately. What a take this is, and what a call from Jerry. A forced buy-in and a super aggressive push. They drop the bomb.
B-site take if you wanted. But FORZ are just going to fight for Banana instead.
Scout tagging, MP9 bagging. It's just a classic play. Tag and bag with the old Scout coming. It's going to be a safe call. The 2 remaining B players are going to just leave things up. Krad. Peeking, waiting, but not quite finding Rez. Config got one apiece. The low buy converting. Rez are making a double off the back of the Galil, and just like that, the round's done. You can see it. Zorta, Jerry want nothing to do with it. They're going to call for a save. They want to drop over. And to be honest, Jerry loves a force buy, so there's definitely a realm and a possibility in which they go for it. But money's not looking all too good. You see a couple of players chilling on about 1.4, 1.5k, which kind of means that they want to potentially even force in, right? Because a double save here is still going to leave them with a little bit of a shaky economy.
Yeah, really nice from Rez there. Just
hope he can deliver one here onto Brolin. It's going to help out Matters, and of course, a Krad play. We've seen him do that many times. He runs around the corner, and Zorte, well, he gets the early warning system. He just Leroy Jenkins right into the play. 10 seconds left. Jerry hops up on top of the coffins. Only a few seconds left to confirm this bomb plan, and we need to get back on that because that's so important. Luckily for NIP, they get the bomb down, and a 2 versus 2 post plant established.
Config sneaking through CT. Sorte not ready for it. Resalt's able to win his fight.
There's a smoke here for Config as well, so he can smoke him off. He can make it really uncomfortable. And Resalt is so far away from this. No kid on his back right now. It looks so good for NIP at the moment to close this one. Config should be able to lock this one in. He's got the pillar. Here's Resalt just desperately sprinting towards the side. There's no issue there for Config to clutch that 1v1.
If there's not a pyramid stack, this is going to get messy. Res for 2, make that 3. And the Pistols put by the wayside pretty comfortably in a matter of moments. Nip and more or less lock themselves into an 8th round.
Yeah, no issues there for Rise dealing with that. There's the pistol stack, hoping they could have caught a player aggressive in the apartments, but NIP realized what they're up against, so they don't get into these close quarter combat positions up against the Pistols. They don't risk a single player's life. And that's going to be the 8th round absolutely locked in. They don't actually have to use a lot of utility either, so you build up your economy pretty well.
On that hold, it's part of the reason why Crad went running in. They didn't have a flash for him.
True.
It would be really nice for FORZ to get a solid buy with good utility here.
You brought up earlier, Hawker. They've already burned 3 out of 4 time odds, and that was when they were 13-6 up.
Aggression down Banana, Crad taking initiative. Headtrick has found the opener though. And this A side of the map could be vulnerable right now. FORZ have got Banana control themselves, and Krat's play has paid off here. He's got Brolan out of there, so NIP forced into this A site.
Yeah, well, let's see how Zorte delivers from the balcony. Quick adjustment down to Alexi B. But he's sticking around. He's still up here on the balcony, and now he's got help. It's starting to look very good from FORZ. Zorte, the sniper from up on top, and just Reds left in a 1 versus 4. Nice quick shot onto Zorte, but finding anything more would be incredible for Rez. The bomb dropped out towards the hay bales. That smoke is perfectly lined up for that. And Shelfie, well, he flips his lines and gives Rez a walkway back into this. Next victim is Jerry on the site, faking the drop down, trying to get the reaction. He could pull this off. Rez is very capable of using his mechanics to pull this round all the way back, but Jerry swings and executes him in the pit. So solid. Oh, yeah, Jerry set off the leash. Here he's going to go forward in towards the half wall.
Bit of space to work with Jerry. We know how aggressive he can be. Pop shots with the AWP. Just keeping them further away like chips in the night. They nearly walk past each other, but Sharpie will find one. Make that 2. And he doubles down on towards Alexi B, caught napping. And already NIP are starting to crumble.
Yeah, the time, 30 seconds left here. 2 players left for this attack, and they're just getting nowhere near the site. Cut down, and FORZ will reach map point.
Win both those duels. I feel like Alexi turned his back here on this second fight. It didn't look like he was ready for it. Definitely didn't land the shots.
The only way NIP's T-side rounds have been working is if there's someone making that space. It was Rez and him for the majority of the time creating space for Nip.
Wow.
Rez is looking to do it again. He slipped around out of the apartments just as they're pushing here, and the flank around the back from Boiler delivers death to Rez. Now you're looking at realizing you have no A control. You're forced into this B play, and Krat holds strong onto Brolin. It's looking very good for FORZ to try and close this one out. Ooh. Jerry sits inside of the smoke. They do find him after 1, but the damage has already been dealt.
This will be tough. Bomb gonna go down. Alexi B getting spammed as well. He's lucky to stay alive. Headtrick will find himself a kill on towards Shelfie, but it's all starting to crumble as Reso drops Alexi and it's Headtrick in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, so low here. Headtrick took the initial nade damage, but now has to step up with the AWP. If Headtrick can pull this off, it's going to give life to NIP, but it's an instant trade from Zorte and a victory for FORZ. They head to 2-1, and NIP slink down to the 1-2 bracket. FORZ looking good in the BO1s. They're now heading to the best of 3s to try and qualify for the major.